The Regent Theater hosts many famous global figures in the arts and entertainment world and showcases their works at the very own historic Regent Theater. But May 22nd brings more prominent figures into town. Actually, prominent figure. One of them came from the Big Apple, while two just traveled 10 minutes from Arlington Heights. Arlington native Daniel Leonard and his wife Lorena co-produced an award-winning animation titled Demi's Panic, with the latest award being the Gold Remy Award at the World Fest Houston International Film Festival.
One of my friends in New York City said that he had a connection to somebody who knew Bill Plimpton. So they made an introduction, I sent the script, and I had a phone call with Bill. And I was incredibly excited to have a connection with Bill and to have this phone call with him. My expectation was that he would read the script and then we would talk and he'd give me some feedback, like, do this, don't do that, change this, change that, and good luck. But when we got on the phone, he asked me the same question you asked, where did this idea come from? And I told him, and there was sort of a pause. And then he said, well, I like it, let's do it. And that was not what I was expecting at all. That wasn't my expectation from our meeting.
Demi's Panic was inspired by Daniel's experience with his daughter when she got alarmingly sick from what was likely COVID in 2020. He described it as a terrifying experience because testing was not available for young children at that time, and that fear led to some mental health challenges.
So that was really scary because she was really very sick. And not knowing what was going on with her was really tough to deal with mentally. And I had this idea that I wished that I could see. I had like a superhuman power that I could see COVID particles so that I'd be able to see what was going on physically with her. And even beyond her, like be able to see what was happening all around us because it was so mysterious at the time, right? So I ended up taking that idea and translating it into a story.
Demi's Panic follows the protagonist, Demi, a 20-year-old who lives in New York City and a projection of Daniel's daughter, and shows how the pandemic slowly creeps in between her relationships with her friends, her boyfriend, and eventually her family.
The other thing that I'd like to point out is that the film really explores the impact that the pandemic has had on people's mental health. So the film really, what it tries to do is not only does it make COVID visible, but in Demi's body you can see like all these swirling colors and this sort of very chaotic energy that is meant to signify the anxiety that she's feeling inside of herself.
If you didn't have the chance of watching Demi's Panic at the Regent Theater, not to worry. There are plenty of more viewing options available. You'll catch this film in several other film fests. The next scheduled screening will take place at the Philadelphia Latino Film Festival. If you can catch that, Daniel and Lorena's film will eventually end up on the YouTube channel Omeletto, spelled omelet with an O, a channel that features the top short films from all over the world. Meantime, I seem to have picked up a little of Daniel and Lorena's magic. Reporting here at the 2D animated Arlington Center, reporting for ACMi News, I'm Animo Osmani.